Hi everyone, so today we will be painting a monochromatic landscape. So basically what that means is you're going to be using one colour for your painting. So what we need to do to start off is the supplies will be a pencil, some watercolour paper, one paint colour, and I'm just using clip, but you don't have to if you don't want to. So of course when you're using watercolours, please have water. It's basically in the name, so you do need water with it, and a paintbrush. So for this I'm drawing a mountain and seascape. So basically always sketch out your paintings. Please always sketch out your paintings. It's basically giving you a plan of exactly what you want to do, a guideline per se. So this is a little a little mountain that is out of the imagination, but I thought that if you have a reference, that would also be very good. So I have my little palette here because I'm using a watercolor pen, as you can see in the corner there. So basically I'm using a black. So for this I'm using a number 10 round brush, and as you can see I'm using a lot of water for my first layer. So I'm just painting it, the sky, in a very thin wash. You want to add a lot of water for this first swatch of colour. So I'm doing this for the sea too, and a little bit of the mountain, and this will give me depth later. So when you're layering your watercolour, it does contain a lot of depth when you're making a monochromatic painting, because you're using a lot of layers, which then gives a sense of perspective. So you start off by painting in a dark colour now, dark but not that dark. So I'm just putting in the trees, the reference of the trees. We do not go in detail as of yet, and I'm just using my heat gun here to make it dry quicker. So so now I'm using a detailed brush, and basically I'll try and leave all my supplies in the description. And now you're going in with a darker color than the previous one, but not the darkest you can achieve, and I'm just painting in the trees and the shadows of the mountain. So we just paint it in. So I'm just doing the trees at this point, which you do a line and then you do a zigzag kind of pattern on the tree. And for the mountains I like to stay dark on one side to give the kind of thing of the shadows. But yeah, so I made a mistake here, so I just got my damp brush and just basically erased it and dried that all off. And now I'm using a darker color and trying to achieve those darker trees and darker shadows of the mountain. So again, I'm getting darker and darker every time I mix up my paint to make it make the foreground look more apparent. Make it look more apparent, and it's more vibrant in the foreground than what you would see in the background. So I just continue that around and the mountain, and here I'm just continuing to make those very thin strokes for the mountain. You can use a dry brush technique, but my paper was wet, so I couldn't achieve that. But the dry brush technique is basically getting a dry brush or dry paper and then just swiping the brush quickly to make those like white areas of your mountain. So here I'm just painting the sea, and for the water, it's a really good tip is to go from the back to start with small lines, and when you're coming forward in your perspective to make the waves bigger. This just gives a sense of perspective and differentiates the foreground to the background. So yeah, so I just continue doing this, and I decided to add a little moon, and I tried to make that wave a bit darker, and I think that we're basically done. So I might just dry that off. Again, you can add tape on the sides and stuff. I didn't decide to do that, but yeah, this is the finished painting and I really enjoyed it. quick and easy. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Please check out my previous videos on where I show you how to make watercolor paint and paper, and this paper sketchbook that I painted on today. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed the video.